Hi everyone. One of the most common questions I've been getting lately is which brush pen is best for me? Which brush pen should I start with? I'm a beginner, I'm not sure what to use. So today I'm going to talk about the two brush pens that I use the most often. They're just different sizes. Basically there's the Tombow dual brush pen. This one is color 452. This is a larger brush tip. So let me show you up close. I use these for my larger worksheets that you see here. So this is the larger brush tip. Now the Tombow has three other smaller brush tip pens. They're all called Fudes or Fudenosuke. And there is a soft tip, a hard tip. They're very similar, but the hard tip's just a little bit finer. And there is a twin tip, which I've shown before. So it has two tips that are fairly soft, and they all are significantly smaller than the large brush pen. So back to the question, what should a beginner use? Just showing you on my worksheets here, lots of beginners do have trouble controlling the larger brush pen. When I started 1 year ago doing my brush lettering, I did use a larger brush pen. So let's just close up, zoom in a bit. I did start with the Tombow dual brush pen, the larger brush pen. That's what my first set of worksheets are made for. And I found it worked quite well for me. So let's try some bees and I'll show you how that goes. So we start out here and go across and push down. And B is a bit tricky because you have a reverse oval. So the great thing about these tracing sheets is they help you control that bigger brush pen. And yes, I guess it does take more control. Like I said, I felt I just took to it like a duck to water, and I really enjoyed the larger brush pens. Also, a lot of people really love the drama of the larger brush pens. What I mean by that is the bigger letters, the bigger difference, the contrast and dramatic contrast between your thin and thick strokes. So you will not get these thicker strokes with the smaller brush pens. Do I recommend these brush pens for beginners? The larger brush pens? I do recommend them for beginners, but I want to talk about the other option that I truly love as well, are the smaller brush pens. Okay, so this is the first set of worksheets, the larger brush pens. Look at the size. And again, this is the larger brush pen, the Tombow dual brush. Let's take a look at the smaller set of worksheets and the smaller brush pens. So I have the three Fudes. Let's pick up the twin tip. So you can already see the difference in size of the letter. You can make a little bit smaller letters with the bigger brush pen. It is harder to navigate the turns. And you can also make bigger lettering with the smaller brush pens. So there is flexibility. Because the smaller brush pen and the smaller brush tip is just that, it is smaller, a lot of beginners do find the control comes much more quickly with the smaller brush pen. So I don't want to say don't use the bigger brush pen, but if you are seriously struggling with that bigger brush pen and you feel like you're not controlling your thin and thick strokes, then definitely give the smaller brush pens a try. However, with that said, with both of the pens, what do you need? You need a lot of patience and you need a lot of time. So if you're expecting to pick up either of the pens, the large or the small, and have a really successful first attempt for many weeks over the course or right away, I think you'll be disappointed. This isn't an instant skill that you pick up. It is a skill that does take some time. Some people you'll find if you're doing this with a friend, oh, that friend is so good at it and you're not. Some people I will be honest with you, do seem to pick it up a little bit more quickly. It all depends. So for me, it came fairly quickly, and I just, with both brush pens, I seem to get the knack of it. It's still using thin ups and thick downs. It's still using pressure, but the smaller brush pens, like the Fudenesuki, might work for you a little bit more easily in terms of control than the larger dual brush pen. I guess what I'm saying is the choice is yours. You probably don't want to hear this. You probably want to hear start with this pen or start with this pen. And I'm afraid I can't do that because I've heard beginners say, I love the big brush pen, and I've heard beginners say, I prefer the smaller Fudenesuki pen. So that's what I have to say to you today. I believe you should give both a try. I mean, pick up one of the brush pens. They're each a few dollars. Pick up a smaller brush tip, pick up a larger brush tip, and see how you feel about it. But the time is the factor, so give yourself some time to improve before you make a judgment call. And I guess at the end of the day, you just want to have fun and make pretty letters. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your brush pens.